Good morning. Today is Friday, September 4th, and this is our 17th episode of BOMA Greater Dallas Unplugged. For this episode, I'm going to share with you the conversation I had with Collie Partners Director of Property Management, Sonia Ellis, and Director of Engineering, Billy Kahn. As most of you guys know, they participated in our education seminar called Breaking Down the Silos between engineering and management teams. This session was such a great seminar, I thought I'd take a bonus round with each of the panelists. And so I asked the same questions to Sonia and Billy that I did to Angelique, Josh, Adam, and Billy. And I really enjoyed listening and learning from these teams. It's been interesting to see how each communicate with each other and how they've accomplished their goals together. So without further ado, I bring to you Sonia Ellis and Billy Kahn. All right. Hey, Billy. Hi, Sonia. Thank you guys so much for your time and letting me interview you guys again. You guys had already done the webinar for us, doing the breaking down the silos between the engineering team and our management teams. So I really appreciate it. Sonia, you are the Director of Property Management at Collie Partners, and then Billy Kahn is your Director of Engineering, both partners in crime.
Yep. She knows us.
Yes, I just want to get everyone to get to know you guys a little bit more. So tell us, how long have y'all been working together?
We've officially been working together at the same company for about 3.5 years. However, we've known each other for several years before that. So for many years before actually working together, we would call each other or email each other, asking questions about projects or proposals or how we would handle a certain situation, whether it be a problem with a building or a personnel problem. So we've actually worked together a long time, but officially at the same company for 3.5 years.
Yeah, Billy and I were friends before Collie, and we communicated on other items at different jobs. And I always knew I wanted Billy on my team because obviously he's brilliant. And one day it just worked out the right way.
Good. Yeah, I think once you get to a point when you found someone that you work well with, it's I think that's so helpful because you know exactly how that person works and things like that. So that's so great. So how do you think your relationship has evolved over the years, if be with, working together in the same company or beforehand?
Like I said, we've known each other for several years before working together. So our relationship is different because we're not only coworkers, we're also friends. So this has made our working relationship much easier from the very beginning, that we're comfortable in our position and know that we can freely express our opinions with each other. I've been in this field longer than Sonia's been alive, so I know that she trusts me and has faith in what I'm telling her.
One good thing about the two of us is we have a lot of mutual respect for each other and each other's position, which I think is important. Billy gets the stress that I'm under, and if I'm asking for an answer for something or details for a quote or a bid, I'm not just doing it to be micromanaging. I'm doing it because someone's going to ask me, and he gets that. And I get, you can only call a vendor so many times to get an answer, and then they're going to get tired of you calling them. So we both get that with each other, and that helps us a lot.
Good. So going off the script here, so how have you guys, as far as expectations go, did you already learn that, Billy or Sonia? Did you guys already learn that of each other before? I mean, because I think being friends is really good, but sometimes you already hear, you can kind of get the feeling of what each other's expectations are even before you're in, you really are working together in a company together.
For sure. I mean, being friends is one thing, but we've always had that respect for each other. Like, I've always valued his opinion And for quite a few years, I was here without a director of engineering. I have no idea how I made it through those 4. And now that he's here, it's like a whole load off of my shoulders, that somebody that knows what they're talking about and can actually, he can think through the budgets, and he gets the whole 360 degrees of how the building works. We have to do this because it's in our budget, or we have to not do this right now because it's not in our budget, but we have to do it anyway because it's necessary. Billy gets operating expenses and the full circle of it. So we certainly have always had that respect for each other and ask each other questions, but now that we work together, it's much better, and he knows that he has to laugh at my jokes now, so.
Whether they're funny or not.
Yeah, even if they're not funny.
I'm sure they are funny. Good gravy. Well, that's good. So how do you think you've handled disagreements with each other? And who's the one that's doing most of the disagreeing?
I wouldn't say we disagree on things. We may have a different opinions about things, but I believe we have a common goal, which is doing what's best for the company and for the property while being thoughtful about the ownership and tenant cost.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think we really disagree on anything. I think we bring to the table a different opinion sometimes, and we have different suggestions that we're always open to. Like, I'm always open to hear his suggestions, and he's always open to hear mine. But in the end, we both know that we have the same goal, and that's what's best for our building or our teams in the end. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't bet on the outcome of the answers quite a lot. There's a lot of play bet in our office.
Wait, so who's the one that wins the most?
I always lose, so.
Well, good. So, Billy, do you, how have you, over the years, do you already hear Sonia's questions when you're doing your research on projects?
Billy, am I that little voice in your head now?
Yes, you are. We've worked together long enough. We've known each other, worked together enough that I can kind of anticipate things she's going to ask me, and already have the answers before she asks me. Like things like, well, what happens if we don't do this? So yeah, I can anticipate questions she's going to ask me and be prepared for them. So
I think is the best thing that any employee can do, really, is just try to be ahead of their boss, or try to be ahead of anyone, just to anticipate anything, because I hear a lot of people's voices in my they're good. It's all good stuff. So do you guys find yourselves negotiating with each other, or accommodating to each other, or is it more like my way or the highway kind of thing?
I don't really think it's any of those things. We work really well together. Of course, I would love to have the Lamborghini version of everything we do, while ownership wants to pay for the Kia version. So sometimes we must come up with a compromise, and we settle for the Acura version, and it's never been my way or the highway. We're comfortable enough with each other that we can express our feelings, and our thoughts towards a topic with each other. So it's never been, here's how you're going to do it.
Yeah, I think Billy's right. I think that we are comfortable enough to say, well, why do you think it's better this way? Tell me why this is going to work better. And for me, a lot of times that means stepping outside of the office and putting my eyes on it. And a lot of times Billy will be explaining something mechanical to me, and my answer is, show me, take me and show me what we're talking about. And then I'm like, oh, your way would be better because I knew nothing about what I was talking about. No, I think we've worked together long enough that we're open enough with each other to just, say, well, this is why I think this, and we both listen to it.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Just so you guys are the last group that I have interviewed with the same questions, and it just shows there's this consistent theme going on, and listening. You guys listen well to each other. You definitely have respect for each other, and it's just that says a lot because it comes from you guys first. And I can only imagine what your teams are like, your employees that work for you guys. I'm sure it's got to have it's the same sort of environment that you guys are putting together. So it's such a great way of working, I think. And I hope it shows that those things are, what's coming out, seeing the big picture, the greater good, that you guys are both working together. It's not, there are no silos. It's really a teamwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, we have the greatest teams out there. So
we do. We manage 13 buildings and a little over 3 million square feet. And Billy and I oversee all of that. So without our fabulous teams, we couldn't do any of what we do. They're just wonderful and so fantastic.
So just question, sorry, off script again. How, do you guys feel like you guys do the same thing? Like, do you think your employees are, your voice is in their head too? I mean, how do you think that even comes about? It just happens, right? Or maybe because you ask it so many times, or?
I think it's the same thing that, we've worked together as a team long enough that, they're know what we're going to ask of them, so they're prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. Are they asking you guys good questions too? I mean, is it?
Yeah, yes, they always, the guys that work for me know that there's nothing they can't ask me, that, there's no dumb questions.
Good.
So, they feel comfortable calling me and asking me questions, or, what my opinion is on things. So, yes.
That's so good. Because it's like, when in school, and they always say, don't, there's never a dumb question or whatever not, but still it's like, you just are too scared to ask the question. I mean, at least I was in high school, and then it took me to college where I was like, I have to ask the question because I got to get out of here and get a degree. But yeah, I think that's another thing people forget to do is just ask the question. It's okay. What's the worst thing that they're gonna do? They're not gonna cut your head off, right?
How would you learn if you don't ask the question?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest part of learning.
Yeah, that's so great. Well, that you guys are just amazing. I really appreciate y'all again for doing this and being a part of this. And hopefully people will see, that how kind of look at how they're leading their teams, and or at least people are how they plan to be a leader on their team as well. So thank you guys again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
I hope you all enjoyed that interview. After I stopped recording, we continued on with the topic, and I wish I had got it because it was really great conversation. So hopefully you've all watched all 3 of the interviews by now. I certainly have seen a theme, and it rings true to what I've learned and read. From what I saw, each team had trust, which was built over time. They respected each other by listening to each other's thoughts and ideas, and no one was afraid to speak up to one another. The manager's expectations were set and clear, and so the engineer was able to acknowledge that and was able to work efficiently when obtaining bids and doing research on products. I know there's so much more, so feel free to comment below and let me know what you thought of it. When I started interviewing Angelique and Josh, I didn't realize what I was really doing, honestly. I just wanted to have a conversation. But I was pleasantly pleased to see what came about, and the consistent theme occurred with all 3 conversations. I was going to say surprised, but once I thought about it, these 3 teams are truly of best quality. And it's no surprise to hear how well they work together and how well they keep each other in line. A huge thank you to Angelique Wade, Josh Hartzell, Adam Bernhardt, Billy Rollin, Sonia Ellis, and Billy Kahn for their time and patience with me as I peppered them with my questions. On to recaps and reminders. I think we're all in the same boat right now. It's budget season, so I wanted to remind you about our directory. I am consistently going through this guide because it's got all kinds of information in here, contacts for our allied members. So if you're looking to bid out anything or get some numbers on projects, I always go to that. But I thought I'd show you, if you don't have that guidebook, you can go online to bomadallas.org and log in. And we have our directory online. So you click over here, online directory, and you can search by category if you'd like, whatever you're looking for. Or if you know the name and company, you can also do it here. But we also, if you happen to have lost that guide and you love it like I do, you can always click here. And it's the exact same thing, just online. Nice little tool resource there for you. So while we're here, I thought I would remind those that are interested in getting a scholarship. The application period is going on right now, September 1st through October 15th. And this will be for any classes for your designation for 2021, or even classes in college, as long as you can show that it's going towards your real estate degree. And those that are at trade schools, you can do for that as well. So let me remind you about our September events. Go back here. We have September 10th is our engineer session and happy hour. The topic is HVAC and COVID-19, how to respond and what best practices there are. This session is being sponsored and presented by Air Performance Service Incorporated. They will cover CDC and ASHRAE recommended practices for indoor air quality and air purification amongst this pandemic. This is not just for the engineers, so real estate members, you guys can sign up too. This should be a really great session. September 15th is our virtual luncheon, which is sponsored by GUARD Texas. We will have TC Broadnex talk to us. He's the city manager of the city of Dallas. So he'll give us the state of the city to let us know how everything's going there. September 22nd is our Allied Plus One event. And this is where they'll be doing a tour at Texas Rangers Globe Life Field. So if any real estate members out there interested in seeing this as well, you can sign up and we can pair you guys up with an allied member. So September 28th is our golf tournament. It's being held at Brookhaven Country Club. Make sure to click here and check out if there's teams available and sponsorships. So. Well, that's a wrap, guys. I hope y'all have a great 3-day weekend. I know I will. I love 3-day weekends. We all deserve a great, relaxing one. So stay safe, stay strong, and keep up the good work. Thanks.